I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave, welcome to our
Today
channel.
we're watching Monogatari Second Season, episode 14. Last episode we ended off with Shinobu's verbal takedown of Nadeko, and I'm so excited to see where that leaves her.
I want to see how we get from this last conversation we had, this really important conversation with some really good bars from Shinobu, to where we are going to be in the future in a confrontation at the shrine.
I don't think it'll take too many steps, unfortunately, but you ready?
Yes.
Sweet.
Are we sleeping with Tsukihi?
Thought it was Araragi. Of course. All his idea. Thank you, Shinobu.
How this hits with Shinobu's like last words
Right.
to her.
It must feel disassociating, not real. Oh my god, it's breaking.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Damn, Saki.
I like her clothes.
Oh my god. Oh. Crawling out of the TV.
It's almost obsessive and creepy.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
Perfect for him.
Oh, love the purple background there.
Has to be the one for him.
Yeah, what are you doing to yourself?
家に誘ったり挑発したりベッドで寝たり積極的だったり彼女
How do you know that?
見て見ぬふりをしていたり諦めるわけでもなくお兄ちゃんに心配をかけて嬉しそうにしているし私が受けている感想を率直に言わせてもらえるならそうだね安心してやっているって感じなのかななでこちゃんはこれまで随分と楽だったんじゃないのどういう意味誰か男の子から告白された時とかに断りやすかった他に好きな人がいるからって
Wow.
好きでいるだけのことが許されないっていうの迷惑のかけようがないことも分かってるんだけどねなでこが勝てるとも思わないもの男の子だったらそういうなでこちゃんの主張をやっぱり可愛いって思うんだろうな宝くじ買う人っているじゃないあんなの普通に買ってて当たるわけがないのにさなんで買うのかといえば夢を買ってるって言うんだけど聞くたびに私なんかは思っちゃうわけだよ
Oh, I love that analogy.
夢を見ろっていう言葉は現実を見ろって意味だと思うんだけどねもしもなでこちゃんが本当にお兄ちゃんに告白するつもりだあの人と戦うつもりだったりしたら応援したいなって思ってたし今までずっとそう思っていたけれどもういいやもう飽きた私が終わりにしてあげる
The bangs?
Oh.
Yeah, 現実逃避をしていても仕方ねえだろなでこちゃんああ大丈夫だか
She doesn't want to look cute. She wants nothing to do with that word.
もしも本当にそこまで前髪のことが気になるんならよ俺様が直してやってもいいんだぜ
そんなことできるの
俺様は神様だぜなでこちゃんがもしも俺様の身体を前髪を伸ばすくらいの願い叶えてやらないでもない早ければ今晩にでも見つけることができるかもしれない暦お兄ちゃんがなでこちゃんを補導してくれたおかげで俺様の身体がどこにあるのか
その当てっていうのは
あ俺様黙るわ戦国
Wow.
人違いだったな
あいえ戦国です戦国
それがお前の真の姿だったのか
She's always been hiding.
戦国この間頼んでいた件はどうなった
目を伏せてうつむいて黙り込むだけです笹藪先生が呆れて立ち去るのを
But
待
what
ちましょう
happens?
どうしてなのでしょう何か状況が
Your
変わったの
bangs.
でしょうかなでこのヘアスタイルに決まってますとうつむいていようとなでこの顔は表情が見えてしまっていればなでこが言うほど困ってないことがバレてしまうのでしたこの場を切り抜けるとしましょうまずはいつも通り前髪があろうとなかろうといつも通りにいつものようにあとはその場の流れでうっせんだよ誰か何か言いましたか進展なんかあるわけねえだろ俺様にてめえの仕事を押し付けてんじゃねえぞ人のつらみだ例の件はどうなった例の件はどうなったってどうなるもこうなるもねえよ無茶な頼み事だってことはてめえが一番分かってんだろうが
どうしたんだ戦国
気安く触ってんじゃねえだと思ってんだ人形か何かかどうせ俺様は可愛いだけで言われるがままだよだけどだからって何も感じてねえわけじゃねえぞ本当におとなしいと思ってんだ
おいどうしたんだ戦国さんお前なんか疲れてるんだって
落ち着いていた結果がこれだろうが疲れてる見ろわかんだろうが
ただ先生はお前の
The voice acting is fucking insane right now.
俺様にあるか戦国なでこがどれくらいダメなやつかくらいちゃんと見抜け見た目に騙されてんじゃねえぞ俺様はただ可愛いだけなんだよこんなやつ信じてんじゃねえ
Jesus Christ, don't put your faith in a bitch like me.
決まってんだろうが仕方ねえから委員長としての仕事ってや喜べボケ
Oh my
The hair.
god.
Starting to lift up like snakes.
Look at her expression. You can see it.
おいうぞ
Holy
うぞ
shit.
いいかお前ら現実を見ろよ貴重な青春時代を台無しにしやがって友達だと思ってたやつが自分のことを妬んでたらそれでもう友達じゃなくなるのか
いつまでもこんな状況が続くんだぞ。だったら塗り替えなきゃダメだろうが、書き換えなきゃダメだろうが。一時期は変なおまじないのせいでちゃんと仲直りしましたって思い出によ。地球上で最も過当な生き物だ。だけどどっかに本当もあったはずだろうが、本当だったかもしれねえだろ。欺瞞や偽善を許してやれる度量を持ち上がれよ。ああ、俺様はお前たちなんか大嫌いだ。だけどクラスメイトだぜ、こんちきしょうが。
早退しましたとも。ぼんやり歩いています。
Absent-mindedly.
投稿した時よりもぼんやりです。
More.
させてもらうけどよ、なでこちゃんの体を俺様が操って好き放題言って回ったってわけじゃねえからな。顕著に現れたというか、普段なでこちゃんが自分にかけている枷が解けちまったってだけだ。
分かってるよ、うるさいな。あれはなでこ、他の誰でもない戦国なでこ。なでこが言いたいことを言ったってだけだよ。分かってる。
分かってんなら。
でも口縄さんのせいだとは思う。なでこの人生と学校生活は、だからもうついでにいっそ全部終わらそうか。口縄さん、早く口縄さんの身体を見つけて、それで口縄さんは本来の力を、それでお別れしよう。それで全部終わり、いいよね。じゃあ教えてよ、口縄さん。なでこはどこに行って。
暦お兄ちゃんの家だよ。すべての終わりがそこにある。
どうして口縄さんの身体が暦お兄ちゃんの家の中にある。
どこかに持ち出されていた俺様の身体を、それを暦お兄ちゃんが託されたってことだ
Oh,
よ。
you know?
でも託された誰から。
さあな、服を着た専門家じゃねえのかい、どうせ。
多分なんだけど、そうしていれば傷つかずに済むからなんだよ。だってほら、恋愛ってすっごくエネルギーを使うじゃない。人を好きになったりなられたりして。だったら絶対に叶わない恋に身をやつしているのが月日ちゃんの言う通りでなきゃ説明がつかないよね。やっぱりちょっと知り合っただけの友達のお兄ちゃんのことをずっと好きでい続けるだなんて。
おい、なでこちゃん。
すごい、こんなマニアックな。さすが暦お兄ちゃん。これはこれで。
おい、なでこちゃん。
Lock
だ
in.
ってひょっとするとこういう本のページとページの隙間に口縄さんの
Yep,
身体が。
definitely. As a bookmark. It's a bookmark.
なでこちゃん。
何このページの女の子が何か。
そのしおりの方だよ。
しおり。あ、じゃなくてお札。
そういうことか。そういう形で保存してあったわけ。さっさとそのお札を俺様に食わせてくれよ。
食わせて。
約束は守るぜ。なでこちゃんの前髪はちゃんと復活させてやる。それだけじゃお礼としては足りないかな。他にも願いがあれば叶えてやるぜ。願い事、どんな高望みだって構わないぜ。
The song
金の花。
is so good.
願い事。
ねえのかよ。なでこちゃんには祈りたいことでもいいんだけどよ。
大好きな暦お兄ちゃんと両思いになりたいとか、そんなお願いでも叶うのかな。
そいつは叶わないな、戦国。
今もずっとその子。
Holy shit.
Ooh.
予告編クイズ。情けは人のためならずと言いますが、人のためにならないという意味のことわざだと間違って覚えちゃう子供が多いらしい。相手のためじゃなくて自分のためにすることって意味なんだよな。でもそうなると人のためにならないっていう会社、自分を高めるために情けをかけたんだから、相手の事情なんか何も考えてないんだよ。それもまたひどい解釈だな。
Yeah.
ちゃうよね。人だ善なのか偽善なのか、そんなこと考えてたら動けなくなっちゃうんじゃねえの。つまり情けは人をためらわすがやらしいようで、そんなに良くなってねえぞ。次回おとり物語第4話よろしくなってるかな。一言見てみ。
That was one of my favorite Fire
Endings.
Sister
Yeah.
endings.
Easily. Okay, that was Monogatari Second Season, episode 14. I think my favorite of the Fire Sisters has been replaced. I love Karen to death, but Jesus Christ, did Tsukihi level up for me this episode.
Oh, dude, what she did in this episode, I'm sure we'll definitely get into what she did. I mean, we can get into it right now
Yeah.
if that's what you're trying to do. In terms of like my feelings about Tsukihi at the beginning of this episode, some of the kind of highlight moments for me, I mean, there was a few different places to go with this, but one of the highlights for me were lines like, I asked what you meant, I don't want apologies. Those two lines for me is a person coming to you like, hey, I'm trying to have a sincere and genuine heart-to-heart conversation with you right now, and you are not bringing your half to the table.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I was enamored with that because, like, I mean, just the idea of, like, what is happening here is so almost in some ways similar to Shinobu's conversation with Nadeko, but also completely different, because this is an old friend. This is someone who's known her for a really long time. This isn't an oddity. This isn't someone who's new to her that she's never met before. This is someone who's watched her and observed her and known of her feelings since elementary school, and is trying, like, hey, I'm trying to be your friend here, and, like, I'm trying to actually, like, if you really were gonna put yourself out there and embrace the fact that you loved my brother and do something with it, I would be in your corner. I would support you. I would at least observe you, even if the girl that's with him is perfect for him.
Yeah. I don't think there is a more perfect character who could have woken up next to Nadeko in this entire series, barring Araragi. Hear me out, though. Like, so I wanted to read through the lines of dialogue that you were just alluding to. What's that supposed to mean? This is what Tsukihi says in trying to understand what Nadeko's feelings are. And then Nadeko immediately apologizes. I'm sorry, forget I said anything. I didn't ask for an apology. I asked what you meant. Love it. Could you give me an answer, Nadeko? Or can you not answer a question from me? Oh, it's so good.
It takes me back 2 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't want an apology. What, am I asking the wrong way? I love it so much. Is it my fault?
Am I asking the wrong way? Oh.
Or are you apologizing because you feel guilty about something? There's so many different layers of approach that Tsukihi is taking here to try to get to the core of Nadeko, but also show genuine care and try to make her realize that they're on the same team.
There are like 3 different things, or if not more, that are being referenced here in just this one stretch of dialogue. From Nadeko knowing that apologizing consistently and knowing that it really doesn't do anything. And also 2 episodes ago, we have that idea of how she feels when she's asked difficult questions. And obviously, she doesn't want to explain herself here, because if she explains herself here, she is going to probably feel something that we hear her say later on in the episode, which is tired. It is exhausting to feel emotionally and put yourself out there and actually try to have a sincere conversation and genuine conversation. Actually let your emotions out and actually try to communicate with someone else. That is tiring. And she is kind of noting for us over the past couple episodes that if it's tiring, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Okay, to take a step back, I wanted to expand on my comment of barring Araragi, Tsukihi was the perfect person to wake up next to, because I think that Tsukihi, nobody could have done what she did better. This felt like a Tsukihi episode to me, and I love her, and I'm just feeling like I'm starting to notice a parallel between her and Araragi. And it's something I didn't notice before, and I might be wrong with it, but the idea that Tsukihi takes this approach of almost she knows more than she lets people think that she doesn't necessarily know as much information that she might have currently. And I think that partly that was her approach to this conversation with Nadeko, and her opening up a lane of dialogue to give her an opportunity and then pushing through with the lines of dialogue that we just read. And when I first felt like I saw this in Araragi, it was in like episode 7 of Bakemonogatari, when we're talking with Hachikuji, and our dynamic with Hachikuji is really like built and established upon. Araragi tends to like play up the bit. He plays up that he is being characterized in a certain way, regardless of if genuinely that is the kind of person he is. And he is in control of how he is perceived and portrayed. And I genuinely believe that. And I genuinely think that that goes to help him in several situations. In this episode, at the end of the episode, Araragi, we get lines from Nadeko during the episode about like in regards to her love for Araragi, that Araragi might be one of the only people who doesn't recognize it or realize it, and that's immediately blowing up at the end of the episode when Araragi walks in. And I think that Araragi's approach there and letting people feel that way that Nadeko does, like that he's so unaware, allows him to be in a very unique position as a person, as the next in line to Oshino, to be able to give him a better bird's eye view and more opportunistic moments to be able to help people or step in when he needs to. And I almost see that same thing in Tsukihi as her attack rather than the blatant attacks of Karen, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like another reason why Tsukihi is useful here is because she's almost she's also cute.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go with it. Is Tsukihi is a character who's been introduced to us as incredibly cute, fashionable, pretty, has a boyfriend, but has this fire within her that is undeniable, of like clearly willing to show people who she is and is really comfortable in her own skin. And it's a level that Nadeko hasn't reached, but what's really interesting is when we have, which I'm assume we're going to talk about more, somewhat of a character break in this episode for Nadeko.
To say the least.
It's somewhat of it's almost reminiscent of a fire that one of the Fire Sisters would have within them in saying what they really think and believe, because if anything, that might be what really helps people.
Yeah.
Not just pity, not just looking around and observing, but actually punching, actually saying what it is that you feel in hopes that it can reach someone's heart, even if it's difficult to say and it's puts you in a difficult position. I feel like it was awesome to have her be the character that picked up on the cute note that Shinobu kind of dropped off at the end of last
I agree
episode.
with you. I think that to even bring it back to a couple episodes ago that I've reiterated, so apologies if it's annoying, but like I had felt like I might get annoyed with Nadeko as a character, and I think I want to break that down a little bit, because I think subjectively I am annoyed with her, like as a person, not a character, right? But as a character, I'm so proud of her and enjoying her, especially after this episode, because I think if you try to be objective about it and leave the subject like feelings and push them away, you get to a point that at the end of the episode, she's reiterating to herself that Tsukihi was right. When Tsukihi says it feels like you're relieved to have fallen into a love that will never come true, if you had told me last episode that Nadeko would be able to say Tsukihi was right and admit something like that to herself, I almost wouldn't believe you. And that's me just having too much doubt subjectively within Nadeko's growth. But within that, I'm forgetting that the explosion that needed or was going to happen, or the implosion this episode, was the break. Once you break like that, then you've taken a step past it, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm really proud of Nadeko, and I appreciate her character much more even after this episode, regardless of what's to come.
We can be proud of that, but then we can also realize that she went like 3 football fields past it.
Yeah.
And what she might be realizing about herself, she's now going to probably start weaponizing to some degree, with what she's going to be wishing for by the end of the episode.
Yeah. I also appreciated, like, I guess we shouldn't bring it up. I was going to say her acknowledging of her and taking responsibility of what did happen at the school, but we'll get there, I guess, because I still wanted to say a few things about Tsukihi. I wanted to read the lines when she brings up the lottery, because that was easily one of my favorite moments of the episode. You know how people buy lottery tickets? They buy them even though you don't normally win anything. Yet, when you ask them why they buy them, they say they're getting themselves dreams. I love her just kicking her leg back and forth, too. Whenever I hear that, I end up thinking, get yourself a dose of reality instead. I believe the words "have a dream" mean take a long look at reality. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, Tsukihi really showed up this episode for me. I really love her. I love the shot, too, of her.
What she's posing with bringing dreams and reality into the scenario is that it likens me, it likens me to something that Nadeko says when she's having her character break at the teacher's podium, which is that you are wasting your youth with what is happening right now. Reality is that you're not moving forward and nothing good is happening to you because you're not facing reality.
Don't you want to be able to say that you can look back and overcome this and just take a step forward? Like, holy shit. It's crazy because, unfortunately, I could see a reality that everything that Nadeko does this episode has fallen on deaf ears because you take a step through and break through a level of immaturity and can see the other side doesn't mean other people are ready to hear it. Just like Nadeko wasn't ready to hear it before. You know, it could benefit them in the long run to hear it, but that doesn't necessarily, mean an immediate truth or immediate success.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that nothing in the classroom scene would be an immediate success. We knew that it would be hard to have any sort of immediate success in terms of Nadeko, because what is happening is this is a long-standing internal situation. This isn't something that is easily breakable, especially by outside voices.
Yeah.
And it seems like what's happening is a compounding of multiple voices, and we are just breaking down any sort of defensive measure or technique that she has created of avoidance, and we are just compounding and compounding and compounding, and she is being pushed and pushed and pushed. And what is really the make of a person, if this was a realistic scenario, is what direction they come out after being pushed and pushed and pushed to this degree. And at the moment, the feelings, the energy, she gives off anger and resentment, almost about being pushed to the degree that she has. It's like that last clinging onto what you had, even if what you had is something you despise. You're still like, it's that clinging and now angrily lashing out, like the snakes rising in her hair. It feels uncomfortable and almost angry, some of the feelings that she's giving off in this episode.
I mean, it's because they've been her feelings all along, and she's just been lying, right?
Yeah.
And let's just get there, because we're alluding to it. I'll just end off my Tsukihi love point with saying that the Tsukihi Nadeko conversation was such a great, compare that to the Senjugahara Hanekawa conversation in regards to, do you love Araragi? And that breakdown and how the other person is receiving it and how they're interacting with that point. I adore it. It's so great that this has come after everything with Hanekawa, and love it. Love it for Tsukihi. But let's get on to the actual break, right?
Okay.
Because it's interesting. This is when I am projecting a little bit of myself into a situation with Nadeko, right?
Okay.
I feel like for a long point of time for my life, I was nothing but like a liar. And I would lie for one reason or another, and I would have pent up feelings, but it wouldn't break ever. And that was when I was like in high school or whatever. But in this situation, Nadeko fucking breaks, bro. She lines herself up to go through with the lie and then just loses herself. I thought to use a plausible excuse to get through the situation. I'd start with the usual. Let's go with that. Bangs or no bangs, I just do what I always did. I'll start off by apologizing, and then I'm going to take it from there. Shut the fuck up. The voice actress this episode popped the fuck off, dude. It was so incredible. It was so well done. This is like, I imagine if you're a voice actress and you open the script for this episode after recording for a while being Nadeko, you almost get giddy in your seat. You almost feel like butterflies in your stomach. Like, oh my god, this is when I really get to show my range. And they absolutely killed it. Huh? Did someone say something? Nadeko is like trying to realize that she didn't just follow through with the plan that she just made. Like hell I've made any damn progress. The animation is great, by the way. You think you can just force me to do all of your work for you? Well, her eyebrows look so great. Fucking thank you, Tsukihi, for cutting these bangs. Every fucking time you see me, it's the same old what happened to that thing shtick. Well, nothing fucking happened. Don't you know better than anyone that you're asking for the impossible? Amazing line. Well, what's gotten into you, Sengoku? Don't put your filthy hands on me. The fuck do you think I am? A doll or something? It's not like I don't feel a damn thing, you hear me? Don't you dare go thinking meek people are meek on the inside too. Oh my god. You must be tired or something. Calm down. Yeah, yep, that's a smart thing to say to somebody who's reacting the way that Nadeko is right now. Look where staying calm has gotten us, dude. Tired. I like the language break too of Nadeko because that's something, it's one thing to point out the tonal change, her exploding, but she cuts the formality of it. And I love that as well. I simply believed you were responsible. Holy shit, you really think I'm a responsible kid? Like, that's such a great line as well. You're blowing up the reality that the teacher is refusing to see.
Yeah, it's also like you're denying the fact that you put it on a kid. Like you're wanting to avoid the fact that you put all of this responsibility of something a near impossible task on a kid just for some fake ass reason of, oh, well, she didn't seem to deal with the charm, so I guess she's a responsible kid. No, you just saw someone who was like seemingly probably moldable, at least you thought, because they were always nice and polite and conscientious.
Or somebody you can put off like the blame to, right? If the principal comes to you as a teacher and is like, why is your class still acting this way? You can be like, oh, well, it's not on me. I put it up to the class rep, so you can blame her because you're picking somebody who you probably know will never actually accomplish it.
Yeah, it's like when you ask someone else to do a task, and then when you get checked in on to see if you completed that task, you then go check on the other person and be like, did you complete on the task? It's just like lengthening a chain of command to avoid doing any work.
Yeah. Don't put your faith in a bitch like me. This is contrary to everything that I ever did. Where are you going, Sengoku? Huh? Ain't that obvious, dipshit? I figured I might as well do my damn job as class rep. You're the one who told me to, so rejoice, dumbass. I would love to see a parallel world where Shinobu is watching this go down. Like, and what her reaction to this would be.
Oh, I would love to see that too.
Kicking through the door
down.
Oh, look at her. It's so, there's so many complex emotions and feelings you can have watching Nadeko do this, but it's so cathartic as well. And it's like,
I find it a mix of cathartic and deeply upsetting.
Yeah. Boy, you grunts. Listen up. Face reality. Don't keep crying over spilled milk and waste your precious youth away. Do you have any idea how pointless this shit is? What if someone you considered a friend was jealous of you? Would they no longer be your friend? Would it be all over if they lied to you? If you don't reach a compromise somewhere, this shit will keep going on forever. Maybe you're just lying low, trying to change classes in April. But you're gonna be carrying the memory forever.
So even if you were to avoid, be able to get out of here, that doesn't mean that what has happened internally, any sort of issues you've had with relationships here, the memories of things that have gone down here, that's going to stay with you forever.
That's where resentment comes from, even in yourself.
And one of the words she uses is like, she brings up the friendship scenario in terms of being able to compromise with a friend. Like, are you really going to waste that friendship? Are you really going to waste your youth away? That idea that all of them will look back at this and realize that some of the things that were getting in the way of are going to continue to get in the way because they didn't deal with it here. They didn't deal with it in the here and now, and it might end up becoming somewhat of a pattern with them, or an avoidance of relationships and friendships, or always a mistrust that they would put, feelings of betrayal that they will feel like will follow them forever. But also the feelings they might have toward themselves for not doing anything, for not apologizing, even if apologizing isn't the right move. I think sometimes in this case, it probably would have been helpful in some of these situations, but the fact that you didn't do anything either.
You've got to turn over a new leaf. You've got to rewrite it all. Sure, for a while you couldn't trust anyone due to those damn charms. What's up, Kaiki? But make it so you can look back and say, we made up. Ugh. Yeah, you guys are the lowest of the low. Hypocrites that put up facades. Scumbags who betray someone the moment they have their trust. The most vulgar beings on earth. You know what? I take back what I said earlier. There is a very clear reality that could happen that this does change the dichotomy for the classroom. Even if they don't realize that it did, I think that this could easily change how everybody interacts with everybody else. Maybe not Nadeko, but...
The idea of once something's put in the universe, once something's said out loud, you can't control what it then does, but once it's put out there, it most definitely could do something even if that something is invisible to, the naked eye.
Yeah. Lies, betrayal, even hypocrisy. Why don't you have the damn heart to forgive it all? Well, Jesus Christ, who died and made you the boss of others? Don't get all nitpicky about who you socialize with. I fucking hate the lot of you. How are your feelings towards the snake? It's like such an interesting oddity to have present in a body right now because it's so passive in a way.
It's so passive in a way, but if anything, it's just giving her permission to project in the way that she has and look internally in the way that she has. I remember saying either last episode or the episode prior that the snake is almost mimicking some things that Nadeko says are true about herself. Like, oh yeah, I'm like that too. So he's like our first glimpse into somewhat of a projection of pieces of her that might be negative, might not be. And I feel like this display, he's like, well, I didn't take over your body, is this conversation they have after her talk to her class. It's the idea that if anything, he is a catalyst to some degree of it happening, but really it's her. And she knows that it's her, and she knows that all of those words that were said were really her.
I think that the line and scene that we're about to bring up might be the most important going into next episode, okay?
Okay.
This is after the snake comes out and says that, this could be side effects. Me being involved in this could have made it so the shackles came off easier. You didn't do anything wrong. Exactly. And then we see both of the snake's eyes, right? But I do think it was your fault. And then we zoom in on just one of the snake's eyes, like, oh shit, I'm seeing right now. And then for now, let's just say my school life, my entire life has met its demise.
Mm-hmm.
I
Not
try
a
to
good
change the
frame of
topic.
mind.
Like, so I want to read that one more time. Let's just say my school life, my entire life has met its demise. We aren't seeing the expression of Nadeko right now. This is a very dark place to be in, especially if you feel like you are actually looking at yourself truthfully for the first time in a long time. And what comes directly after is her changing the subject and feigning a smile. And I think that's pretty scary.
Yeah, this is an incredibly dark place for her to be, because really what the reality is that she has come to a place within the past 3 episodes of fully admitting out loud that she is a lot of things that she has told us that she hates. And what she's yelling at her classmates, she's not just yelling at them, she's yelling at herself. Shinobu has a line when she talks to Nadeko about, you're gonna make Aragi worry, or don't make him worry. And then in this episode, Tsukihi brings up the idea of you act happy when he worries. And she actively doesn't tell Aragi about the snake at the beginning, even though he asks, and even though she knows that he would be there and he would care and he would worry. And she's doing the same things that she hates. She's betraying the trust. She's not being truthful. She's hoping that someone worries about her. But she hates what she is, and she hates that people would worry about her. And she's in such a conflicted and almost depressed space within that line that we had just brought up on the screen. And to then again be able to change the subject, I see exactly how she ends up where she ends up.
Yeah.
I see it clear as day now. I know in the first episode we get of Nadeko and Medusa, I was like, how do we get here? And as soon as Shinobu's conversation happened with her, it was like a downhill, like everything, I'm on the roller coaster, I'm on the ride, and everything is set in front of me, and I see it all, and I see how we're going there.
Yeah. Man. To like then go on to look for the snake's body, we're acknowledging that Tsukihi was right. We're feeling how we are. And then to be put into a scenario where we're looking through something of Araragi's that we shouldn't be, and we're not only given a wish opportunity, but an opportunity for a prayer. To voice what she did for Araragi's love for him to be requited. And Araragi to be the one to respond, no, it won't. Holy shit. I did not see that happening. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense considering, like, if she was able to have the situation play out without Araragi being there, I would have no idea how they would come to blows. Mm-hmm. But this makes sense.
This is so much about him, too, this episode. I think that they bookend well with this episode in terms of reminding us. Like, if someone has a love, there is another person at the end of that love, and they are equally as important to this story and this scenario, and their own feelings about the other person, and whether that be requited or unrequited love, are equally as important as Nadeko's. And we start that bookend with obviously bringing up he has a girlfriend at the beginning of the episode, but I would say more importantly, Tsukihi highlighting that he is not perfect for Senjugahara. She is perfect for him. Mm-hmm. We're putting the emphasis on him being the person of importance in this conversation. And we end with him being the one that hears what her wish would be, what she wants. And him getting to say, it's not going to happen. He gets to speak on his feelings finally. If anything, Nadeko has been denying both herself and Araragi a chance to speak on this. Obviously, her feelings are unrequited. She was denying herself a chance to be able to let it all out and tell someone and maybe then feel better, maybe then move on and find someone else to love. She was denying herself that, but you're also denying the other person a chance to have an authentic relationship with you or answer you back to your feelings. How can you really have an authentic relationship with someone if they've been in love with you this whole time and you are treating them a certain way because of your feelings toward them?
Yeah. Man, what an episode.
What an episode. I think one of the things I appreciated most was bringing back the using a love that would never come true at the end of the episode as well. And just really like the fact that Nadeko even has negative feelings toward love is something that came as a surprise to me with this episode. That even love and relationships is something that she views as tiring and too much.
Yeah. It's just her perception of what a person or a character puts on and the relationships with other and potentially the truthfulness that falls in between that.
I think she's just scared.
Yeah.
Why else would you be like, oh, I'm too tired? All the emotions that would come with being in love and being in a relationship. What really that is fear of being authentically yourself with someone else, and or getting a broken heart someday, having to consistently work on communication. Like, yeah, that can be tiring sometimes, especially if you're not literally the same person. You're going to have times where you have to really communicate, and it's going to be tough sometimes. But there's so much beauty that she's missing in all areas of her life. Wasting your youth away. That's literally like what she's doing. She's wasting every aspect of it.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see you next time.